Hi guys, so we had this race this past weekend at Watkins Glen. We did the race radio style.
You love that.
It's a lot of fun. I really do enjoy it. I didn't like doing it at Pocono. The track's too small, and we get the cars in such a small window, and you have to spit out a thought. And a lot of times they're coming through there the same way they did the last lap, and trying to create something new and something different to say. Is real tough, but at Watkins Glen, it is fun, wild, and it's always something new happening in the inner loop where I'm at. I'm kind of in a coveted spot between me and Mike Bagley and Jeff Burton, so I'm not going to complain. And I had a blast there last year. I had another great time this year. I love doing the radio-style broadcast at that track. We also do it at Indy. Again, I'm not a fan of doing it at the ovals, but at the road courses it works really well. Anyways, if you've listened to a race on the radio, they talk with a ton of energy. All right, and that's because they're out next to the racetrack where the cars are. Particularly at Pocono, I was 10 feet away from the track, and it's loud. So your instincts are to talk louder. And so there's that part. So the cars are coming by, and you're trying to talk over that. And also, you're watching a live event. You're watching it in person. That is more exciting than how you might call it from sitting on your couch. Mm-hmm. All right? Mm-hmm. So the fact of the atmosphere and the energy, the fact that you're watching it in person and it's happening right in front of you for the first time, it's organic, it's live, and it's loud. You end up talking louder than normal, than you would in the booth at least. But anyways, the comments on our race from the fans in the majority are very favorable. A lot of people really, really like the radio style. But there is a small group that have two different opinions about it, all right? And one opinion is that we scream too much. It's annoying that me or Burton or whoever's screaming, they don't like it, wish they'd stop screaming, right? And so I personally tried to quell some of that, not shrill as much, because I when you're excited and you're talking about a real great battle or you're seeing a car spin, for example, in the Xfinity race, Kyle Busch had that problem with suspension. He comes sliding by me. It was a shock to see that. He was going to dominate and win that race. And now here he is spinning for whatever reason right underneath me. And so in those moments, it's hard not to react naturally, and it sounds somewhat unnatural, I imagine. But so I was getting that feedback, and I was thinking, man, I'm going to try harder to sort of bring that down a little bit, not get so amped up and so loud and high-pitched, especially when there's a action or a wreck or somebody getting spun out. So I was conscious about it. All right, so there's that opinion.
There's the screaming group. You're screaming. Okay.
The other opinion is that they can't hear us at all over the engines.
I'm in that group.
Mike, you're in that group.
Yes.
All right, and that I've seen that quite a bit for every race.
Yes, I have. I'm in that group every race.
And I'm hearing that there's a fix for that, and it's in your television settings. And Matthew, you did a little bit of searching, and now this might not work for everybody, but give it a go, Matt.
Yeah, it's not even just racing. You know, if you're watching football, if you're watching hockey, if you're watching baseball, you will notice sometimes on your TV, depending on your TV, that you'll hear those sounds, the background sounds, more than the announcer. So it's all how the mix is done, so the surround sound settings and whatnot. So the best thing to do is go into your TV settings, go into sound modes. There's different modes like news, clear voice. If you don't have those, you could go into the EQ, lower the bass a little bit, increase the treble. That could help as well. If you have things like an Apple TV and you go into settings, audio and video, there's settings called reduce loud sounds. So go in and play with your surround sound settings, because that's what it is. Because whether you're on the Fox side or the NBC side, it doesn't matter. You're watching baseball, football. A lot of times you'll hear the tackles and all that stuff, and the announcers' voices will be reduced. You can go into your settings and get that optimal setting.
All right.
I was prepared to ask, is this something that's intentional to give us an at-track feel?
Yes.
If that's what NBC's doing, and not knowing good and well, you may not be privy to that knowledge. I mean, you're a broadcaster. You're not, the sound technicians and stuff.
I had Leah look up some of the comments on social media. Let's hear some of those.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a mixed bag.
What was I in there?
I didn't pull yours, Mike. NASCAR on NBC is providing great coverage. One critique, however, lower the race noise when playing in-car audio. It's really hard to understand, which is something I notice as well.
They're talking about specifically in-car audio.
Yeah, that was specific to that.
I never can understand what the radio chatter is.
Yeah, I couldn't, Chad Knaus was yelling
don't know what
I
he's
had
saying.
no idea what he said.
Yeah.
NBC really has to work on the audio mix. I'm all about loud cars, but when I watch on TV, I expect to be able to hear the commentary. So things like that. But then some of the positives, they love the around the track play-by-play style. It definitely adds to the excitement. They love that you could hear the crowd on TV, which is something I notice as well.
That's a good point. I like that.
That makes it like it's a true setting that you're at the racetrack. And like Dale said, NASCAR and NBC, listen to us. We don't want to watch the race with teenage girls screaming things.
I noticed a comment that when they're in their, I don't know what else to call it other than the scream mode, but when they're trying to talk up and they're excited, Jeff Burton and Dale Jr.'s octaves are very similar.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
So I've listened back to some of that, and I agree. Me and Jeff sound similar when we get to the same place there. When there's something wild going on. Yeah.
It's tough. I mean, I know I've done some radio pit reporting type things, and when you're down in the pits, you're instead of eating the mic, it's an instinct to speak up.
Speak up.
Well, listen.
So anyway,
that's interesting.
I think that for one, I can't, for the people that don't like the screaming, which I don't know if it's true. I don't feel like I'm really screaming, but for the people that don't like that style, I don't know that that'll ever go away. If I'm always in the booth or calling the race, I'm going to do it in a way that comes natural. I'm not faking that. I'm not trying to amplify something that's not there. I'm not trying to blow up or make a race that's not exciting. I'm talking about the action the way it's making me feel in my heart. And so I love racing and I love what I'm watching, and I enjoy all types of battles. I enjoy ass whoopings by 15 seconds, and I enjoy what we saw yesterday. Mm-hmm. So when you're hearing, that's another comment I think we see sometimes is they're making something out of nothing.
Oh God!
Well,
that's gonna make me angry.
I'm gonna just say right out front that when you're hearing me on there and you're hearing any kind of emotion, it's genuine emotion for what I'm seeing. I love my job. I love what I'm doing. I'm having fun in that moment, and I'm also liking what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I enjoy and love racing. So. And as far as the screaming, I mean, it's just I tried to control it a little bit. Like if you listen to the first probably stage of the race, I wasn't thinking about it, and I was just probably getting a little bit wild in a few instances. And then I started trying to control it a little bit in the second stage and then the final stage for sure. And so hopefully that helps some of those people. But
so were you literally making those decisions to control it based off of Twitter feedback?
Don't get mad at me, Mike. But yes, look, I know. Listen, it's not.
I'm going to scream. No,
let me say that I know not to take that kind of input directly from Twitter. But these are people that are watching the race in the moment, and so it's not. It's not. Yeah, it's not reactionary. Day later, weeks later.
I got you.
This is someone going, "Hey, I love this, but I don't like this." Right.
Fair point.
This second. And so. I was conscious about it, but in the end, I'm not going to broadcast how I'm not going to do it how I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do the job. I don't have to do the job. Don't need the money. I love doing it. I want to do it because I have fun doing it, and I'm going to do it the way I want to do it and the way I think it should be done. I always loved the radio broadcast. Back
it.
in the 80s, we didn't have TV. You had nothing but radio. It was always awesome, energetic. It sounded amazing. They always were, for some people, yelling. If you look at any race call where there's a great last lap, listen to the announcers.
Oh yeah,
they're excited.
or anytime a caution comes out, like
anytime there's a wreck or an accident,
yeah.
anything. Right.
Spirited 3-1, 4-1, I mean,
2.
like they go up there and stay up there, and that's I wouldn't want it any other way.
That's the other thing. I think people act like this is the first time broadcasting has ever been done this way with energy.
Yeah.
I think that is what is missing from
Yes.
our broadcasts for the last decade is that energy.
Absolutely.
And so I'm here to bring it.
Bring it.
and
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Amen. We can all agree on that.
I apologize if it's not your favorite style. But
I apologize for them sucking and having bad opinions.
Hey, then they could just turn on golf,
Now-
man, and just have the race on visually.
right.
That's
yeah,
fine.
Right.
for everyone who loves it, I'm glad you love it. I'm thankful because it means I get to stay up there. If you didn't like it, I mean,
That's
really,
right.
it wouldn't matter how much my employer loved me or thought of me. It's all about what the fans enjoy. And for now, the majority of you are enjoying the broadcast, and so that means that we keep our jobs and keep going to the track.